He's coming for me, but I'm coming for him. I want to take his mask off and see the life of Lieb's eyes.
So going in with low expectations to the 2018 film, I was more excited for the sequel, Kills, it being a standalone rather than being a sequel to the 1978 classic. Of course, seeing the trailers and ads several times, I already knew subtle nuances that make him Michael would be detached. This film is a straight-up slasher with little outside of it. It is great seeing the OG cast reunite, but there's honestly not much payoff for their return. I honestly thought they deserved better than that, as far as them serving the story and bringing back these timeless cinematic characters. Now, the flashback scenes are the most accurate. I cannot praise it enough. It's incredible. Set designs, the grain, film quality, the actor who portrays Michael Myers is just pretty flawless. Like, you could swear it's Nick Castle behind the mask. It's honestly the best interpretation I've seen. They really set this world up to look like 40 years ago. The movie honestly had a hard time keeping up with the quality of detail that the flashbacks had. Still, I thought it was a pretty fair trade. You know, we got a little sample, some really great filmmaking, and then another example being not so great. I take what I can get. I'm just glad we got what we did. Even considering it being postponed to COVID, it being 2 years being made, you'd think they could have done better, honestly, but David Gordon Green, the director, really understood the time period and the town. And most importantly, the shape. There's plenty of kills to satisfy horror fans. At the same time, there's little substance to the story. But then again, neither was the 1981 sequel of Halloween. Much more graphic. It's just a continuation of that night. They're very similar. I don't think it's fair to love one sequel for one reason and then hate the other for the same. Even though neither sequels are really related, but they both have one thing in common, the classic. And the kills definitely catered to the fans and had a decent flow, all things considered. And these characters returning did deserve more than what they got, more time. They returned to show them off, like a show and tell, but there's no telling, it's just showing. With a lot of one-line deliveries for each of them, or even less. As for the score by John Carpenter, I definitely felt more in tune with the original instead of 2018. This film will definitely divide fans for the bold choices made. It could have been the studio trying to give everyone what they want. Michael is a force, yes, but in Kills, he's a fucking hurricane. He's like a tornado in a trailer park. Yeehaw! We've seen the most brutal he's ever been since Rob Zombie's films, and his most vulnerable, and that's not really a good thing. We don't get any nuance or Michael creeping from the darkness like we know him to do. And Carpenter's and Hill's movie, that's 99% of the runtime is him just waiting, seeing him emerge, see him out of focus. And that's what really built the tension, not the kills. How that movie was executed with time and care. Overall, this movie had a lot of moments I did quite enjoy, but the kills did nothing for me. Great seeing everyone back. It was just unfortunate that they didn't give much to do. This film still does depict with trauma. Everyone deals with it differently in PTSD, and that fear can either tear them apart, either from evil, someone else, or within themselves. I mean, I thought it was a decent sequel. Cast was good, given what they had to work with. It is what it is. It's not anything great. The ending I was not happy with in this film at all. Yes, I wanted some characters to die, not give such a in-your-face female empowerment type thing, but some of the characters that have been established as very important, they deserve better as well than just... Now we're gonna get into the spoilers. In the flashback, the movie pretty much starts off with the best moment of the movie. It's what I was most anticipated for. After that, it's really nothing about Michael's body count, and it loses its appeal really quickly. Even though Michael is a killing machine, he's not Jason. That's essentially what he's become in this film. With all the years, fans have one gripe with Halloween 2, 1981, Laurie being useless in the sequel, basically. You'd think they would stray from that, but the only difference here is that she's alert, present in the moment, at least, but still doesn't really do anything except give line delivery. Taking the Loomis position of being the voice of Michael. The side plot with the other mental patient really just as pointless as Dr. Sartain. It really just reminded me of Danny DeVito as the Penguin. I like to show her my French flavor trick. It's really obvious why they put that in there, to relate to the riots that's taken place. And I'm all for social commentary and horror. It makes it more relatable, but this just felt forced. It didn't serve the story. It really just took time from the characters, like from Lindsay, or Tommy. The character dying, Karen, like I'm glad one of them did because it would have been unrealistic given what they were up against. Just the way it was handled, I just didn't like it, even though I didn't really care for the character of Karen. It wasn't tastefully done. It was very sloppy. It didn't feel impactful. It really had no honorable send-off to her other than it being shock value. I really wasn't even shocked. Made for a very underwhelming and abrupt ending, honestly. As an 2018 film, it was abrupt, yes. I felt like it had a conclusive story on its own. But hopefully this will be fixed and Halloween ends. You'd think they'd have more time with the film being late to have made some better choices. But what they did get right, I was happy enough with it that, you know, the rest didn't completely ruin the whole film experience for me. And it's still, in ways, a competent film. But it's one I'd expect more of in a sequel, because if you can't expand on the characters and you want to bring them back, you could just did that for nostalgia purposes and to get more people in the seats. Potential wasted. But again, I enjoyed it for what it was. Comment down below, let me know of what you thought. That's my review for Halloween Kills.
Michael Myers is alive.
We fight.
Thank you for watching, and please subscribe.